Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. Let's go to Zurich for today's daily challenge. Sunflare Space was here first. We are off for the daily challenge. We have 5 motorways and we will get no further. And the speed limit is increased on bridges. Yay! That'll be helpful because we only have so many motorways. So bridges will be like pseudo motorways, pseudo ways. Good sorting pseudo. Nah, never mind. Oh God, good afternoon. Sunny says it has been 84 years. It hasn't actually been 84 years. It feels like it has been 84 years. It has been, what, like 4 days? Did I do one on Friday? I don't think I did one on Friday. I was in Connecticut on Friday, so. Oh, we have this lovely red business here, and by lovely I mean ag, but, you know, it'll be fine. We'll just loop the blues around like so, toss these reds down here, and away we go. Oh, goodness. Oh, big stretch. Ow. It's been 84 years since Sunflare Space was here for Gimmimim. That is true. That is true. One day, one blessed, glorious, win the effing Powerball already, Goog, come on, day. We'll figure this shit out. In the meantime, we got a roundabout. And the roundabout means we need to figure out stuff vis-a-vis this yellow business here. So let's do something dumb. Toss a roundabout right down here about, and by doing that, we can run yellows down through here into this business, reds through on the horizont, going this way. There we go. You know, I'm 38 years old. I've been alive and an English speaker for pretty much that entire time. There were a few years at the beginning there where the words were a little bit dicey, and then it started with Bob Barker, and it kind of went from there. I just now, in this moment, while making a stupid piece of wordplay, realized that the words horizon and horizontal probably share a common ancestor. They do sort of mean the same exact goddamn thing when you think about it. 38 years old, just now realized that. When I win the Powerball, could Sunny get her expenses covered for a year in exchange for being present for some episodes of Gimmimim? Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's a one-time only special promise that I guarantee will definitely happen. When, not if, when the _Goog hits the big massive Powerball jackpot, anyone who posts the word Flagstaff in the Discord server at any time shall be entitled to $10,000 cash. Just sent. I'm never going to mention this ever again, so, you know, happy hunting, people from the future looking for that one time that the Goog promised people money. But yeah, let's say that'll happen. That's the secret, right? You speak things into the universe and then they happen and then they're real. That's what The Secret's about. I don't know, I've never read the book The Secret. I think they made a movie out of it, which, I mean, it's a dopey self-help inspirational book. Why would they make a movie out of this? But then again, it sold 1,000 copies. Probably sold many more thousands of copies. But anyway, we're manifesting. I am manifesting a better place for this white business. This is kind of nonsense over here. This whole thing you got going, I don't like it. I'm not a fan. All right. I don't think we're going to have a say in this. I think we're just going to have to kind of deal with it. These red houses go up over that away. These white houses go zoom like so. we have another well-placed roundabout. These white houses will come in here from the southeast. They exit to the northwest. These two reds come in from the west, exit to the east. Off you go this away. Everything will be fine. Here, let's take this and trade it for that. Actually, no. We can just keep a third going this way. This is a circle, and we might need more than 4 houses here eventually. At the moment, this is fine. Hi there, greenhouse. You thought that you might have some sort of effect on me, but ha, 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 ha. I made a climate joke, sort of. Let's see here. So this blue business exists. That's not great. Game, we don't really have enough blue houses for all of these blue businesses that are extant and doing things in our place. Do we not care about that? I think we might not care about that, which, oh, all right. Well, for now, we can do, all right, let's do the, oh boy. Let's do this. Stupid blue, no. Because what I wanted to do, what I was going to do up until a moment ago, was run this blue up this way into here and just burn a tunnel. But now, we also have to be mindful of this red business way the hell down here. And I don't know what we want to do for that. So if we run this up here, that's totally fine. But it also means I can't really do another spur from the roundabout, which was going to be the plan to service this. I think instead, now, the plan to service that is just going to be extend this road a ways, which, gross. You go that way. All right, so now we have 5 houses heading into the roundabout, going down this way, servicing these 2 business. That's far from ideal, but should generally be okay. This yellow circle has gone circular, as indicated by its name, the yellow circle, which it's not great, just because it means we've got 2 circles wholly dependent on a roundabout in order to solve all their traffic needs, but, you know, it'll be fine, right? Maybe? Hopefully, we can safely assume that it might sort of be fine. It might sort of be fine. Let's take another tunnel. We're definitely gonna need them. They go places. Let's see here. We've got a white business over here. This is very obviously going to want to be a bridge, but at present, I don't have a bridge. So we're going to have to temporarily burn one of our motorways. Bridges are speedier if you want the red circle. I could do a bridge. Like I could do bridge up over to here. Just get these red houses into this red business via that way. There's absolutely nothing saying I can't do that other than the fact that it's kind of a poor idea to do that. It's not even a poor idea. It's just, well, I can't do it right now on account of no bridges. So, you see right here. That was that very popular Vine, right? Dude does a very important skateboard trick and then looks at the camera and says, still no bridges. Still no bridges. Title of the episode. Or at least one of them. I don't know. We can have Nash come around and then we'll have a bridge. And hey, look, a bridge. All right. This blue house will get onto this blue road, go into that blue business over there. We've got 4 houses serving this circle. That should generally be fine. This is now a circle. Our dear friend motorway number 1 shall be murder killed. Goodbye forever, motorway number 1. Doot. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on, I'm ruining things. There we go. All right. So now we have these 4 houses serve this business. We only have 3 serving this newly circled beige over here. But that should be fine. That should be fine. Take a yellow house into that yellow end of a double plaza. Get another green going down here. Oh, God. Oh, stretch. Oh, stretch and pain. Sleepy ache. Ow. Had a good time last night playing Cyberpunk 2077. It remains a good and fun video game. I have no idea how much more. I mean, I have the final quest, apparently. Circle Master tells me that I have the final quest just on cue, ready to go, of the main story. So, theoretically, we could end that at any point. I'm in no rush to wrap it up. I'm having a good time, and also there's a ton of stuff. Like, we're still sort of... I don't feel like we're endgaming the Phantom Liberty DLC. I also don't really think... Like, the game is structured in such a way that you can very easily just aimlessly wander around the city forever. And maybe eventually they'll stop having, you know, gigs and quests and such. But hasn't happened yet. Hasn't happened yet. Doesn't seem like it's going to at some point. And the gameplay is fun enough that it's like, yeah, go into this place and kill some fuckers and rescue a guy. Do that 50-odd times. It's just Grand Theft Auto with a shiny pastiche. And hey, you know, we're a sucker for shiny pastiches sometimes. This green here, I don't think I'm going to do anything with it. I think it's just going to sit there. I've got 2 tunnels. We'll take a couple traffic lights. Might consider... No, they wouldn't do any good here. Just because you'd be turning left against a light coming out of that. So there's no real point. So I think this right here is basically just fine for now. I will take these 2 yellows and add them to this roundabout here. That in turn, you know, sends them down to this circle, which is fine. This blue has gone circular, which is kind of gross. I don't know. Let's see here. Hold on. We've got these 2 blues right here. Give me a second. I might be... Let me cook. Hold on. I might be onto something here. So if I do this, I can get a tunnel back. If I take these blues here, they can service this blue business. You know, I think I might actually restructure this yellow. Yeah, let's kill this bridge. We'll come down this way with the yellow. That'll be better. You point there. Yeah, I see that better. Okay. I said yellow. I meant beige. So these blues come down here. These 2 shoot down like so, provide a 3rd and 4th house for this. Oh, I am going to still use a tunnel out of this. Because what I was ultimately going to do was do another spur out of the roundabout. But just to get down here, I do have to use a tunnel to get around this house. I don't have to use a tunnel that goes all this way, but I do have to use a tunnel for a square. So, okay. We're going to do this. Once this road debridges itself, is going to come like so. So the 5 of you continue serving that. That's totally fine. All right. Ooh. Well, this red circle just got extra circly. Huh. What if... Okay. You know what? I know we just created this spur of this roundabout. I don't think it needs to exist anymore. I think we have enough going on in terms of red housery that we can come down here. The two of you can service this business. And maybe get... Hey, a friend. I was just going to say that you probably needed a friend, and then it got one. So that's good. Thank you, Sonny, for noting that, hold on, I am ruining things. It's probably good that that's preserved for all time. Oh, God. All right. Hi. You are an annoying blue business. Not so much for anything you've done, so much as your placement, but it still counts as an annoyance. All right. I think we're going to need a roundabout somewhere. We're either going to roundabout blues through here down to there. Can I fit one in there? Oh, I can't fit one in there. All right, well, that makes life easier. It's just in terms of decisions, if nothing else. Let's toss a roundabout right here. And we'll go like so, and then like so. So these yellows here will roundabout here, and they will either take the southern spur down to this yellow circle, or they'll take the southwestern spur, which meanders its way into the northern spur of this roundabout, southern spur down there, into this business. This will be fine. Meanwhile, we'll chop... I wish you had a friend. I wish there was another blue house paired with you, but there isn't, and I don't think there ever will be, so... Oh well. Let's say... We'll draw motorway number 1 that does that. Now, did I need that? Actually, hold on. We don't necessarily need that, because I can just have these two houses spawn right there, and then we traffic light right here. That is a perfectly cromulent traffic light. It's not necessarily the bestest thing I've ever done in the history of the world or nothing, but it's probably better than having one of my one of my 5 and exactly 5 motorways. So we'll pretend that that's fine. Good morning, Peter S. Happy to have you here alongside. Oh, hi. We've got cloggy yellow problems here. That's not great. I wasn't expecting arterial plaque so quickly, but yeah, we've got cloggy yellow problems, don't we? Oh boy, this roundabout might be turning just a little bit more rat-likey than I had expected it to. Well, that's not good. Let's take another tunnel. Don't mind Burgerman92 just lurking and solving a crossword puzzle, as one does. Good morning, Burgerman. Happy to have you here with us as well. Let's get another blue house coming down for this bluesness right here. Did this roundabout declog itself? Have you generally cleared yourself up? Did those blood thinners work? Not really. Have an aspirin. You'll be fine. Oh, God. This beige house can point down that way. Get another beige going in for this beige circle right here. These greens are ucky. Don't love them. But, you know, actually, hold on. I think it might basically be fine. Because, here's what we can do. We can restructure and send the yellows into the western spur here. That frees up the eastern entrance right there. And in turn, we can take this truly ridiculous tunnel-shaped object right here. Is that straight down? I think that's straight down. That is indeed straight down. Okay. So these two greenhouses take a very long tunnel-based road, and they go into this green business right here. Should basically be fine. I'd kind of like to get one more greenhouse down here, but for the moment at least, we're going to pretend that this is okay. This business might ultimately be doomed, but yeah, that's a problem for future me. Give me another bridge. Peter S. points out that this is a decent amount of motorways to solve the inevitable roundabout troubles. And listen, there are going to be some inevitable roundabout troubles. You're not wrong. Speaking of troubles, I've got this business here, which I don't see a good way to get to without using a tunnel. Like, I could have this house point up onto a road and then give it a spur of the roundabout, but we've already seen what overcomplicating a roundabout can do, so I don't love that plan. I also don't love the plan where I think the better plan, even though it is going to use a traffic light and a tunnel, is we do this. You come off of here, go into there, and we toss a PCTL right here. So these 5 houses are now doing double business support duty. You come down here, you turn left with the light, or you go straight through it, and you get into this business. And then as the cars are coming back this way, they turn right against the light. The light does occasionally turn red, but for the most part, it'll be green, which means for the most part, traffic will continue to flow. And that will be all dine and fandy, and these businesses will be A-okay for, a minute or two. And then we have more issues. Okay, let's see here. So this yellow business, if you exist, well, see, now that's a problem. It means we have to restructure this traffic light. We go out of there. And this, I think the solution here is just the world's tiniest motorway. Yeah, I think the solution here is just going to be the world's tiniest motorway. All right. Let's have these 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow houses hop on the world's tiniest motorway and go down one single entire square, basically. Motorway number 1 shepherds these 4 yellow houses down in that way into this business. Hi there, green business. I remember saying that you were going to be fucked. Are you presently fucked? It's irksome. All right. Give me another tunnel, and let's have a think here. See, the problem is all of my spare greens are kind of in use right now. You point south. I've got... Now, all of these greens here are just kind of here doing nothing. I don't really have a great thing to do with them. Okay. I could peel 2 of them away and draw a motorway. Or I could really doom this roundabout. Because what I could do is do a little tiny spur off of the roundabout going southeast. I would bulldoze this tree, use that spur as an on-ramp to a motorway that goes this way. The problem with that, well, the problems with that are several-fold. One, it would put yet more stress on this roundabout, which is already kind of dicey and probably in need of relief, if anything. 2, it would bulldoze a tree for no particular reason. 3, it would connect these yellow houses to this yellow business. And in doing that, it would totally fuck with my yellow ecosystem. It would ruin the principles of 1B, 1R. So, yeah, I don't like doing that. I could, like I said, I could peel these 2 greens right here like that. Have them do something. I could use 2 I could sort of use 2 motorways here. Hold on. Maybe the answer is just use 2 motorways here. All right. Let's explore the possibility of using 2 motorways here. If we chop this red spur, we just make it cease to be. And then we take these 4 red houses, draw motorway number 2, over to here. That frees traffic up in the roundabout for these two yellow businesses. I'm not going to mess with this nonsense down here. This nonsense down here is basically functioning, so I'm not going to futz with that. I could theoretically, like, spring this around and... Well, actually... Hold on. I know I just said I wasn't going to do this, but hold on. Hold on, maybe I'm onto something. Let me cook. Man... I know I've said this before. You know a phrase is dead when I feel comfortable saying it. I like the phrase "let me cook." It's a shame that that's been killed. I didn't kill it, but anyway, I'm certainly contributing to its demise. As I was saying, let's do this. Let's have this yellow come up this way, and then there. Boom, boom. Okay. So now we have 1, 2, 3 yellow houses, straight shot, well, not straight shottedly, but swinging around, going into here, like so. These blues go straight into there. That's cool. This yellow road comes down this way. We have, what is this, 5? This is 5 yellow houses serving this yellow circle. That's fine. We also have 4 red houses, which... can't really be supported by anything else. Well, let's do this. We have 5 red houses hopping motorway number 2 going into here. I did just steal a red house from this business. That's bad. However, we have these 3 reds down here. Draw the road straight, Goog. There. So these 3 red houses now join this road, going this way into this roundabout to serve this business. That's cool. That then allows me to take motorway number 3. God. I'm going to get back a tunnel. You know what? I'm going to get back this tunnel and all of this road. These 5 houses are going to fly solo into this. The 5 of you serve that. Everybody go. I feel like we've been paused for 10 minutes. I didn't intend to pause for 10 minutes, but shit needed straightening. Shit needed fixing. I think it generally functions better now. By it, I mean the city of Zurich. Yeah, the city of Zurich is in a much better place, hopefully, with fewer roundabouts and one less giant tunnel, although one new mid-sized tunnel. We're gonna be fine, hopefully. This yellow business is getting a little dicey about stuff. We might yet not be fine, but I think that was good, important road work that needed doing. It's my own personal Swiss Big Dig. Oh, God. Swiss Big Dig. One of the titles of the episode. You know what I saw on... I don't remember if it was Instagram or YouTube last night. I saw Big Dig apologia from people who did not live through the Big Dig. And listen, I am a tiny child in terms of the history of New England roadwork projects. I only sort of remember the Big Dig. I know enough to know that the Big Dig was such a boondoggle and such a clusterfuck that even though the end result was Boston looking prettier and traffic generally flowing a little bit better, we don't need to be nostalgic for the Big Dig, okay? We don't need to be nostalgic for the Big Dig. That's not a thing that we need. Speaking of things that we don't need this business here to fucking die. Let's fix that. We've got these 3 beige houses right here. They can come this way and that way to then get into this roundabout, to then get up that way, to then save this business. Right? You can do that, can't you? Here comes 6 more beige cars. Hooray, 6 more beige cars. All right. The reds come over here to save that. We've got more reds spawning over this way. I don't really see a need for... Well, I mean, actually, hold on. I don't know. What else would I be doing with these reds if not serving this business? This is probably fine. Here, have another yellow for you. That's okay. This green project here is... Oh, hi. I only just now discovered that beigeness. Son of an bitch. All right. Well, we can sort of replicate the extents of this just by doing that. No, just by doing that. And then we can take these. This business might or might not be doom fucked. It could be okay. There's nothing saying it's not definitely doomy screwy. Okay. Now we need cars to get back to here and then go up that way in order to save this from death doom. So, listen, this might just die before this even becomes a problem when you think about it. So, maybe don't worry. Maybe everything will just be okay. Maybe it'll be all right. I don't think it's going to be all right. I think this is sort of doomed. I think, oh boy. Yeah, I think that the cars that would have saved that are... Okay. 2,737 commuters over 99 days. Sure is a number of days. Oh, well. As top 15% in the world... That's not nothing. It's better than Samurai Sam. First of all, good morning, Jeremy. Secondly, we drop those GGs in the chat because we have defeated Samurai Sam. Glorious, triumphant victory for me, the _Goog. And now we celebrate in many ways. The first of which is we bring in our very good friend, the Wordle. Hello, Wordle. The Wordle today is flank. Why? I don't know. Could be. It's not. There's an A in it, though. The Wordle today is shape. The Wordle is not shape. A shame. It could have been shame also, but now we know that it's not. If you just heard my heater kick in, well, I'm not turning it off. It's 28 degrees outside. I'm cold. I like my heat. Oh, God. All right. It could be... it can't be grasp, because we know there's no P. Jeremy, yeah, you're going to be spoiled on a great many things that you may or may not have already done, Jeremy. What's she here? What could this be? That's a good question. It could be grass. It could totally be grass. There's no reason it can't be. So... That's a decent enough guess. It is, oh. Good job, Peter. Thank you, Peter S. Peter S. solving the Wordle. Basically all on his own. Very good job. Thank you. All right. Now, our dear friend, Clancy the Crow, made a request of me, the _Goog, and that was that we return to connections. It's been a while since we did connections here in Gimmimimim, mostly because connections is evil and awful and horrible. I am, however, a sucker for things my friends ask me to do. So, let's see. 4 groups of 4. The first thing that jumps out at me is Odyssey, Civic, and Accord, and Pilot. These are all models of car. These are all Hondas. And I don't see anything here that's also a Honda. So this is either a red herring or these are just Hondas. Those are just Hondas. The Accord, the Civic, the Odyssey, and the Pilot. Okay, cool. Madam and Kayak are palindromes. Level is also a palindrome. I don't see a fifth, though. Oh, Civic. Oh, Civic is a palindrome, and that would have been a red herring. I see. Okay. Dipshit game. awful, mean, terrible thing. All right, let's see here. A kayak, a plane, a raft, and... And a shell are things you can float on? That doesn't make sense. What's here? If you're even, level, flat, and plane. Yeah, these are all, like, well... I can't use an adjective that isn't one of these words. These are all like flat, even, level planes. I don't know, man. They're just flush. Okay, yep. As an adjective. I gotcha. If you use it as an adjective, that makes sense. Good job. Okay. Now then. Fluke is a fish. That doesn't matter, though. Okay. Madam, label, fluke, raft, truth, kayak, dugout, and shell. Huh. Things you hide behind? The truth, the label, the shell. That doesn't necessarily make sense. Things you come out of? No. Huh. And again, I'll say, huh. Truth. Okay, so what are these things? Like a dugout is the place where baseball players sit when they're not actively playing baseball. A fluke is either a fish or a weird coincidence. Madam is an honorific and or lady who runs a brothel. Raft is a thing you float on. Kayak is also a thing you float on. Kayak and raft. I don't know. Kayak, raft, fluke, and shell. Things you would just find in the water. That doesn't necessarily... I don't feel great about that. I don't feel great about anything. Kayak... Jeremy likes fluke, raft, kayak, and shell. One away. Shell, kayak, raft. Huh. So shell, kayak, raft, and fluke was one away. That naturally means that label, truth, madam, and dugout would be one away. Which means... shell, kayak, raft, and dugout? I don't know. I'm just kind of swapping in and out now. Human-powered watercraft. Oh! A dugout is... well, I think I've heard the term dugout used for a boat where you take a big tree log and you dig out some seats and you make it a boat. That's a dugout? Yeah. Okay. All right, fine. Label, truth, madam, and fluke, huh? Okay. Those are... Oh my god. This is the kind of shit. This is the kind of shit that made us stop playing Connections. Biblical figures plus a starting letter. Because you've got Luke, who wrote a gospel, Abel, who murdered and or was murdered by his brother, Adam, who was there first, and Ruth, who has the shortest gospel according to the Reduced Shakespeare Company. Yeah, okay. Yep, sure, fine. Oh, this is Time Guesser. This is a big old parade. This is a big old parade float, and specifically, this is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York. And by New York, we, of course, mean Manhattan. The question now is, when was this? And judging by that phone, we can assume that this is fairly damn recent. Who the hell is Trute? It was a starting letter. Not an ending letter. It was a starting letter. Ruth is a figure in the Bible. I don't know. I've never read the... Anyway, let us go to Manhattan. And by Manhattan, we, of course, mean New York. Wait, scratch that, flip it, reverse it. Where the hell are we? I don't know. The only thing I know about the Thanksgiving Day Parade is that it eventually goes through Times Square. So we're just going to say that we're near Times Square, which is... at the corner of something in Broadway, isn't it? It's like near Central Park, which is... Man, Manhattan's confusing when you can't look at it in the way it's supposed to be oriented, which is in a not actually north-south type of way. You're supposed to rotate the entire thing so the city, the roads go up and down. That's how the subway maps do it, and therefore the correct way to do everything. All right. Hey, that's Times Square. Okay. So we are, man, I don't know, there. We are right about there in 2025. Seems reasonable. We were a little bit further uptown. It was actually Central Park. Okay, fine. Good job, Goog. Next. This is the Ballygolly Poultry Depot. Okay. It's also a cooperative wholesale society. Neat. Good job, tiny communists. All right. So we've got a whole bunch of mustachioed berate fellows. The name Ballygolly feels very Irish. Feels exceedingly Irish to me. So we've got a whole bunch of... Wait. Okay, so this is Walter Ray's crew. Good for you, Walter. Very happy for you. This says possibly something backwards. WP26H5. Okay, so that doesn't mean anything. It might be like photo storage code, but it has no bearing on this particular game. Got it. All right. Well... This feels, again, very Irish, so there's nothing here to really dissuade me from that notion, unless I was a person who recognized particular hat fashions. Oh, look at the poppy! Look at the poppy that might or might not be a Jack Russell or Irish or setter or something. It's a poppy! It's a poppy! And also there's horses. All right. I mean, I'm gonna say we're in Ireland. We could also very easily be in anywhere near adjacent to the United Kingdom and or including Australia. But yeah, I'm feeling somewhere just outside Dublin, Ireland in 19 Dickety Dose. Yeah, okay. So let's go to Ireland, and we'll stick ourselves in a little bit of right there, and we'll say that it is 19 Dickety Dose. It was, in fact, Northern Ireland in 19 Dickety negative Dickety. It was just 1900, so oops. Okay. That's a very good photo for 1900. I'm surprised you got all those dudes to stand basically still for as long as it would take to take a photo of that quality in 1900. Good job, long dead Irish photographer. All right. Okay, so we've got a big old banquet table. Hi there. Folks are having themselves a lovely lunch or something. What do we got? Ooh, croissant. Oh, now I want a croissant. Damn it. We appear to have coffee and pastries. Good for you. Okay, so this is brunch. This is just a very fancy brunch. Got it. I'm sorry, Sunflare Space is teaching us fun Dutch slang in the chat, including Miranuka, which translates to ant fucker, which is absolutely going in our vocabulary. Let's see. So this is the Fog and Garlip. Everyone knows about them. Ilms and Beligus seems like something that AI would spit out, honestly. But they are apparently central of modern design, or perhaps center. So that's nice. These signs are entirely more English than I expected them to be, but that seems vaguely European-y. That might have one of those O's with a slash in it, which would indicate a Nordic Scandinavian thing. Also the flags. Also there are flags. If I was a person who recognized flags, I would probably have gone straight for the flags. This is indeed either Denmark or Sweden based on the flags. The flags of Denmark and Sweden are basically just the flag, the same flag, but with different coloring. Where did I see that? This character right here, Sunny, in this Noorderhanse solve. The O in the solve looks like it has a slash through it, which, according to Sunny, is a dead giveaway that that's Danish, which means that that's a dead giveaway that this is Denmark, which works for me. Let's see here. You know, when I was in college, I had to write a tiny little mini essay about, hey, here's a European country. And I wrote it about Denmark. And the only thing I remember about that essay is that somewhere on a Danish tourism website, there was the phrase, Denmark is a bike. And that stuck with me because it's stupid, but also aspirational. More countries should be bikes, I guess. All right, so we are in Denmark in 1940, 50, 51. How do we feel about Denmark 1951? I feel pretty good about 1951. Yeah, okay. We are in... Nope, Denmark's further up. We are in Copenhagen, Denmark in 1951. Because why not? That was, in fact, no, I don't want to be privately translated in Firefox. It was Copenhagen, Denmark in 1967. Okay. Next, we have some ladies and a kid walking up a hill. Cool. These are the original Yeticklers. Very nice. Don't get your don't fall for any of those phony Yetickler imitators. You want the original Yeticklers. Sam objects. He thinks that the discount knockoff Yeticklers are just as good, which I did say kid instead of tiny child. Listen, Sam, what do you think I am? Some sort of punchline generator? A catchphrase spewing robot? What can only say things what he's already said? That's basically true, but only basically. Only basically true. Sonny and Peter S. both think this is Turkey for reasons that might have to do with this language looking like Turkish. Are there any giveaways for how to identify Turkish? Because I don't know how to. This could be Turkey. I mean, I'm not seeing anything that says not Turkey. You know, it could very easily be Turkey. Sure. We've got bike tractors. We've got Sizmeki. All right. So this would be Istanbul, 1972? Istanbul, 1972? Sure. There's totally a sign here that says not Turkey. Okay. I gotcha. Let's go to Istanbul, which would be right about here, near that big dot that says Istanbul. We are in Istanbul, Turkey in 1972. Feels a little bit too recent for... I don't know. I was saying that based off of these cars mostly. Yeah, okay. We'll stick with it. Istanbul, 1972. It is, in fact, Istanbul 1983. So not really close to 72, but closer to that than to 68. So good job, Goog? I don't know. This one's kind of a giveaway in terms of the where of it on account of the Vancouver. I don't know how many cities there are in the world that include an Vancouver in their name, but I think this tiny child here might be covering up a va. Just a thought. Just a thought. Sam, listen, that's nobody's business but the Turks, okay? We have made our requisite Istanbul joke. It's the one joke that everybody knows about the city of Istanbul. I imagine the people there very much hate it. But, you know, again, that's nobody's business but theirs. So, why would the people of Vancouver be here? They appear to be having a Christmas time celebration type thing, although it is raining. So, between that and the general cell phonery going on here, this feels pretty dang recent. Possibly as recent as last effing year. Although, I will note, this is an iPhone with one of the older iPhone cameras, so doesn't necessarily mean that it's not last year, but I don't see any of the newer ones. So, presumably then, this would be a little bit further back than that. So let's say Vancouver 2019? Yeah, sure, fine. Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, 2019. All right. In we zoom, down we go. Let's go there-ish. Right between the Vank and the Uver. And we'll say it was 2019. It was, in fact, 2015. Okay. Sure. Good job on that last one. Kind of a Midland job overall. 36,467. It sure is a score. Now, next and last for today's Immaculate Grid, we need a bunch of dude what played in California and also Atlantans, 2000 strikeout guys, and 20 win season guys. A in Oakland A who got 20 wins in a season is Tim Hudson. Tim Hudson ever have a 20 win season? Not certain of that. I think he probably, well, he might have. He was good. He was good, but he was like right at the end of the time when 20 win seasons were things that guys did. Raleigh Fingers. Raleigh Fingers was like a relief pitcher, wasn't he? I know Dennis Eckersley started and relieved, but I think he had his most success with the A's as a reliever. So, Catfish Hunter? Catfish Hunter was a starting pitcher for the A's, whose name I know, and therefore was presumably quite very good at stuff. Catfish Hunter won him 20 games one season while pitching for the A's. Tim Hudson also fits the square. But if I had used Tim Hudson there, I couldn't use Tim Hudson here because he's a dude who played for the A's and also the Atlantans. So there you go. San Francisco Giant who won him 20 games in a season is Juan Marichal. That seems reasonable. That seems like a holy shit. Half the people who got that square said that guy. I mean, fine. That's fair. Yeah, I understand. Dude who struck out 2,000 dudes in his career and won 20 games is Denton True Young. That's a true fact. That it took him a long time to do it because he didn't strike out a whole bunch of dudes back then. But he struck out 2,000 of them in his career. So good for you, Cy. They ought to name a trophy after that guy. Next. Let's see. An Atlantan who played for the Giants is a wonderful question. I don't think Randy Johnson was an Atlantan, sadly. Carlos Beltran never played for Atlanta. Incidentally, an Atlantan who struck out 2,000 dudes in his career is Meg Graddix. And, let's see. An Angel who had 2,000 strikeouts in his career is our chance to hit the Zach Greinke button. He was a very good pitcher, don't you know? All right. Now we got to fill out this little Tetronimo-looking thing here. Let's see here. Ray Durham was a Giant, but he never played for Atlanta or the Angels. Christopher Lloyd was an Angel, but that doesn't really mean anything. Chris Pratt was an A, unfortunately. Scott Hatteberg was an A, but he never played for the Angels. Ditto David Justice, Jason Giambi, Jeremy Giambi, Mark Mulder, Miguel Tejada, Barry Zito. Let's just name the entire baseballing cast of the movie Moneyball. We could just name the entire baseballing cast of the movie Moneyball. Carlos Pena was an A, but he never played for the Angels. Sean Figgins was an Angel, but neither a Giant nor an A. Josh Donaldson was an A and an Atlantan, but he never played for the Giants or the Angels, so he doesn't fit the square. Johnny Cueto was a Giant. Was he an Angel? Maybe? I feel like he might have been. Russ Ortiz was a Giant. I feel reasonably confident that he was an Angel. Probably going to throw away my thing here, but Russ Ortiz, not an Angel. Bartolo Colon, however, was an A and an Angel. So, was Russ Ortiz an Atlantan? Maybe that's how I got confused. It would have fit the square. Sadness and failure. Giant and an Angel is Tim Lincecum. Tim Lincecum pitched for the Angels? TIL. Ramon Ortiz was an Angel. And you know what, Sam? Looking at Russ Ortiz, I totally thought he was Ramon Ortiz. I was visualizing Ramon Ortiz. Yeah, that guy. That guy right there, Ramon Ortiz. That's who I was thinking of. Sad. Speaking of sad, if you ever watched the video of what I assume was the final pitch Ramon Ortiz threw in his major league career, that is also sad. Man. Well, that was a hell of a bummer. Oh, well. This has been an immaculate grid, although not an actually immaculate grid, because I'm bad at video games, even if they're silly computer games. Folks, that is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways. I hope to be back tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock Eastern, tomorrow evening, 5:30-ish for Hades 2, and then we shall see from there. Thank you, as always, for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and this is the end screen. Bye now.